This is the Chapter 4 test review video for numbers 21 through 28, so all of the mastery questions. So 21 and 22 are both absolute value equations. So starting with 21, our absolute value bars are alone, so we first need to split up. Take what's inside, set it equal to positive 13. Second equation, take what's inside, set it equal to negative 13. Then we just need to solve both. So get p by itself by subtracting 5 and divide both sides by 3. Same thing in the right-hand side. Get p by itself by subtracting 5 and then divide both sides by 3. We get two solutions. Now 22, we got the absolute value bars alone. Now no matter what we plug into absolute value bars, the output should always be positive. So because this is saying the absolute value of something is negative, that's no solution. That can't happen. So we save ourselves some work if we think about it a little bit. Number 23, we need to solve this equation. So the left-hand side looks nice. All like terms are combined, but the right-hand side's a mess. So first, let's start by distributing. We're still not done with that right-hand side because we have two like terms that need to be combined. So negative 2 and 1 add to negative 1. Now we can start to rearrange. We're going to get our letters to the left by subtracting 6x, but when that happens, they both cancel. We're left with negative 1 is equal to negative 1. Now, since that's a true statement, we say all real numbers. If we were left with a false statement, it would be no solution. Number 24, what is 14% of 145? Percent problems, we can use that fancy triangle method. And change 14% to a decimal. It goes in the bottom left. Of goes in the bottom right. So we're solving for is, which is up top. Now, because we have two numbers next to each other, it means we need to multiply them. So 0.14 times 145 is 20.3. Number 25 is a proportion, so we cross multiply. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16, and 3 times x is 3x. One-step equation, get x alone by dividing both sides by 3, and we have our answer. It is a fully reduced improper fraction. 26 and 27, we are going to FOIL these binomials. Because we have a binomial times binomial, we need to FOIL or use the box method for multiplication. So first terms together, 3p times p is 3p squared. Outside terms, multiply to negative 3p. Inside terms, multiply to positive 5p. And last terms, multiply to negative 5. Now, we're almost done, but we have to check for like terms. Our two middle terms are like terms, so we are going to combine them. So 3p squared stays, but negative 3p and 5p combine to positive 2p. And then negative 5, bring it down, and we're done. Number 27 is one of the most missed problems in math ever at all levels, because everyone just wants to square the first thing and square the second thing and call it a day. But we need to rewrite it. Please, please, please rewrite it as that binomial times itself, because it's a hidden FOIL problem, just like number 26. So multiply our two first terms to get 4x to the second. Our two outside terms multiply to negative 6x, as well as our two inside terms. Then my two last terms multiply to positive 9. Now those two middle terms do not cancel out. Negative 6 and negative 6 combine to negative 12. So my final answer is 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. All right, so we would have missed that whole middle term if we had just squared from the beginning. So we do need to rewrite it. Very, very, very important. All right, number 28 is actually our very first topic I think we did this school year, mastery topic number 1, where if we're given an equation, we need to do a substitution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite that f of x equation and just do open parentheses where I see x's for both a and b. So it's saying negative x squared plus 4x for both these problems. Now let's look at 28a. This is telling me wherever we saw an x, plug in a 1. So in those open parentheses, we're going to put a 1. Order of operations says I need to do my exponent first. So I'm squaring positive 1. 1 to the second power is 1. But that negative on the outside, we haven't dealt with that yet. It's still on the outside. Copy down the rest. Now, negative 1 times 1. And 4 times 1. So when we get negative 1 plus 4, which gives me a final answer of 3 when I add them together. 28b, this is telling me plug in negative 3 into those open parentheses. Once again, we need to do the exponent first. So that negative is still on the outside, but negative 3 to the second power is positive 9. So now we just multiply. Negative 1 times 9 is negative 9, and 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. We have subtraction, which get us negative 21. Always, always, always use parentheses when you substitute into these types of problems. It will avoid a lot of error. And if you have a calculator that does order of operations, it is definitely required if you are using a calculator that does that, or else your calculator will get it wrong. Thank you for listening.